These are some killer jeans. Literally. Hey Twisted people, it's your Twisted Woman here, Chauncey K. Robinson, and today I am doing a spoiler-free review of the new Shudder original movie, SLAXX. A possessed pair of jeans is brought to life to punish the practice of a trendy clothing company. Shipped to the company's flagship store, SLAXX proceeds to wreak carnage on staff locked in overnight to set up the new collection. So first and foremost, SLAXX is a very cool concept. I am a big fan of inanimate objects killing things, from killer donuts to killer couches, killer sofas, killer bongs, all types of inanimate objects that come to life. And I just kind of love that subgenre of horror. So I was pretty excited to check out this film and what it brought to the table. What's interesting about this movie is that you go in with the expectation that because it's an inanimate object killer movie, that it's going to be very over the top, a bit silly, a lot silly, because, well, you're watching a film about something that is an inanimate object killing things, right? So I went in there with that kind of expectation, and I was kind of ready for the silliness. I was ready for the over the top. I was ready for the caricatures of characters and things like that. And interestingly enough, I feel like this film sort of subverts that. It kind of subverts the idea that it's going to be completely silly the whole time because, you know, somewhere through, halfway through, it kind of becomes sort of serious in a way. I mean, there's still quips and jokes here and there, but the reveals and such like that do take on some quite serious topics. Now, with that said, if you are someone going into this film wanting completely silly, just over the top, there's killer jeans, oh my gosh, then I think you will enjoy it, but I also think that you need to be prepared for the fact that this film does take itself seriously, you know, at times. And because of that, you get some real horror concepts there. You get some very intense moments of fear. You get some very, intense moments of drama when it comes to the topic that reveals itself, one of the themes in the film itself. And if you're not necessarily prepared for that and you just want something super, super silly, then this may not be the film for you in that regard. Then again, if you're interested in this subgenre of horror, as I am, and you want to perhaps experience a new, fresh take on the subgenre in a way, then I think you'll find this intriguing. As I mentioned, there is social commentary here, and you kind of get that in the log line of the film of a pair of jeans that become possessed and takes out that punishment and carnage on a store that the jeans are connected to in regards to some of the practices of the store itself, in regards to the jeans and the clothes that are made there. And, I think it deals with some real world concepts in a very interesting way. And that's, one of the things I love about horror at times is because I think horror has a tendency to take on the status quo, to challenge it, or to at least reflect it in sometimes a warped mirror. I think the film attempts to strike a balance between the silliness and the over-the-top nature of some of the characters with the real-world commentary in there. And in some regards, it works. In other regards, it feels like a large shift has happened. And you're kind of like, whoa, so we're not where we were just then, where it was silly, over the top. All the characters were kind of a symbolic caricature of certain types of characters like influencers and overly excited worker bees and things like that. And it kind of goes into this really kind of darker place. So there's a tone shift there. And while it's not necessarily the smoothest tone shift, it's not the biggest detractor for where they end up taking you. I will say that even though this film subverts the subgenre of the overly silly inanimate object movie, in some regards it kind of fell into some similar tropes when it came to, who dies first in films and who ends up being the heroine and things like that, that I was kind of like, well, you know, you kind of did a great job subverting what we were to expect in that. And then in this regard, you sort of fell right into some of the same mechanisms that we have seen somewhat overly done in horror films. The kills and gore in this film are right on target. There's some really cool kill scenes. There's some really cool gore when it comes to the genes that are killing people. It doesn't look really cheesy, actually. It actually plays really well with how it's done. And so that's what I mean when I say there's actually a creep factor here. I was like, am I kind of scared of a pair of jeans? And I genuinely felt that there was a creation of intense, creepy horror atmosphere, which was well done. The trigger warning for SLAXX is that there is a somewhat brief joking reference to eating disorders. My twisted final grade for SLAXX is B+. Okay, Twisted people, that is my spoiler-free review of the new Shudder original film, SLAXX. I was digging it. Let me know if you've watched the movie, comment down below, and also let me know some of your favorite inanimate object killer films. Give me your recommendations. I'd love to hear them. And once again, be sure to subscribe so that you are the first to know when I post my videos. Thanks for watching.